Rajni, what's wrong?
Tom, I have a script and I don't know what to do with it. Should I burn it? Feed it to my cat?
You need some writers group therapy.
Hello and welcome to Writers Group Therapy.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Rashni. We're writers helping writers. Ready for your session? Because the doctors are in. Okay. Writer's block. Oh, everybody gets it. Everybody hates it. What's been your worst case?
I avoid writer's block by not writing. I've been so busy lately. I've got like 3 scripts I've started on, and I'm always thinking about them, but I never sit down and actually. I need to do more, like at least jotting down my notes, because I have the ideas, but I just don't have the time to write them down mostly, because I'm trying to finish Reclamation and other projects. Yeah. So.
Which I guess that is. I mean, I don't know if that's writer's block, but being too busy. I mean, for me, sometimes I get in a mode and then I'll walk away for a while. I haven't written anything in a while, which, shh. All right, you didn't hear that from me, guys. But yeah, and sometimes I'm not a huge outliner, which can be good and bad. I once had a fantasy novel and I knew the beginning and the ending. I just could not figure out the middle, and I put it down and I walked away for like a year.
Yeah, sometimes if I am writing and I don't outline when I'm starting, at least. Usually I just have ideas and they just kind of morph and eventually become a script, and then I start writing a script, and then I hit a part where I don't know what to do next. Mm-hmm. That's when I usually go back and I'm like, okay, I probably should have started with an outline. So then I kind of outline what I've done up to the point I'm at, and then I start to figure it out from there. That helps.
Yeah, I mean, and also for me, I think what causes me to hit that wall is if I don't research enough. I mean, some things you don't, you write it, you know what you're doing. But if it's a topic that I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I don't know enough, I stumble because I don't know enough about a subject. For example, I put a scene about human trafficking in one of my scripts. I don't really know that much about it. I mean, I know it's bad, and I have
That's a good thing that you don't know that.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I have friends who are more in that world of like volunteering with people who've gotten out of it, and they know more about it. I just know fringes, and I feel like what I know is stereotypical. So I had to do a lot of research. I had to call a lot of friends, and it was fascinating, but it also held up my project for a little bit.
Well, similarly, sometimes I'll start writing and I'll just stop and I'll be like, I don't know what happens next. And I brought like the first 12 pages of a script to our writers group and said, okay, what do you guys think? What should happen next? Because I don't know. And we actually did that improv night where we had improv actors come in and read. Actually, that was one of the things we read. We read the first couple pages, and then they acted out what they thought would happen next if it was a natural conversation between 2 people. And that was really helpful. So, sharing your stuff with other people and getting, like doing this improv exercise, getting feedback, other people can help you, see where the story might go.
Yeah, which is a great segue, actually, because how to overcome writer's block. So both Tom and I are in a writer's group. We actually co-lead a writer's group here in Los Angeles together. And that has been an amazing tool and an amazing group for me. I don't know about for you, but just being able to bring in your work, having them critique it. I've done the same thing. I'll bring 12 pages of a script in. I'll be like, I don't know what my characters are supposed to do now. And everyone in the group has such varied ideas. It's great. You're like, oh, that's great. I never thought of that. Oh, wow. What if they, did this or whatever? And you just try it out and have fun. And suddenly your brain starts working again.
Being part of a writer's group also has helped me because it's given me deadlines. Giving yourself a deadline is a great way to write because then you have a goal. And when I sign up to present something at the writer's group, whether it's the next meeting or a month away, then I have a deadline. And when I was writing Reclamation, our sci-fi web series, I wrote the first episode, and everyone thought that was great, and I had no idea what happened next, but I knew everyone wanted to find out what happened next, so I had to go write the next episode. So I did, I think, an episode a month for 5 months. I had 5 12-page episodes by the time we got, so and then we actually went and made the first episode or 2. So. Which
is another thing, too. If you don't have a writer's group, obviously you can start one. If you're in LA, you can join ours. Or write with a partner. Because that also keeps you accountable as far as, like, if you're writing with a partner and you're like, okay, I need to give them 5 pages by the end of this week, then you have somebody to hold you accountable to that deadline. Or even if you just had a partner to be like, hey, how's the writing coming? And, but I feel like when you work with somebody, it's a little bit stronger than just having an accountability partner.
Yeah. I mean, I did it on my own once, and I had a really good idea. So if you have a good idea to start with, that helps. But I gave myself a goal. It was like a New Year's resolution to write 3 pages a day. 3 pages isn't that much. And I did it. And because some days I was more excited about what I was writing, I wrote more than 3 pages. And I actually wrote a whole script in less than a month. So, and that's just a first draft, of course. But, you get that first draft out. That's like the first huge step. And then you can go back and you rewrite it. And then you share it with people, get coverage or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of do that. But get it on the page, Don't let... don't let all the hang-ups of, I'm not sure if this is going to work, or, or it's too long or too short or whatever. Just get it on the page.
Yeah, never edit yourself in writing.
Yeah.
I have a songwriting partner that I worked with years ago, and that was like one of the most important lessons he taught me. Never, ever edit yourself in the writing room. You can always tweak it later, but never edit yourself in that first draft.
Sometimes I have done this in the past where I've written a story and I just let it go where it wants to go, because it'll just kind of come to you like, okay, I guess this is going to happen next. But then at the end of this one film I wrote, it turned out that this comic relief character earlier in the film turned out to be the bad guy at the very end. I'm like, oh my god, he's the bad guy. How did that happen? And it kind of just happened. It came to that point in the script, and I'm like, it just made sense. So don't fight it, but let the script tell you what's going to happen. So the story sometimes goes where it wants to go, and then you're surprised by it.
Or let the characters tell you. If you have like a very strong character type, think about, if I put them in this situation, how do they react? Would they do this in this situation? Or what if I do this to them? That's another way of getting around it too. Yeah,
that's a good exercise, and that reminds me of something I picked up at the LA Times Book Festival last year. The Writer Emergency Pack. It's a pack of cards. It's by a guy named John August, if you're looking for it. It's a bunch of cards that has all these different exercises on them that you can give you ways to kind of get over your writer's block. Like, flip the genre. Instead of being a rom-com, we'll make it a thriller. Or instead of a comedy, make it, a horror movie. And then just to twist it and see what happens when you put the characters in a different situation, because and the other one would be like, what's the most unusual thing that could possibly happen at this moment in your script? It's because you don't know what happens, so think of something totally insane that could happen. And it might not be what you wind up using, but the idea is to get your brain to keep thinking, to kind of get out of the rut it's in. So
yeah. And if you're doing multiple projects, which I know a lot of people are in the middle of multiple projects, don't be afraid to put something down, walk away for a little bit, and then go back to it. Fresh eyes really helps.
That happens to me a lot, yeah. Sometimes I have 3 scripts I'm working on at the same time now. I'm trying to work on them. But yeah, I'm always thinking about them. So eventually, whatever scene I'm on or whatever part I'm on, something will come to me. I'm like, okay, I can go work on that one now because I figured that out. So don't force it, but sometimes you let things germinate in your brain, and you'll come across something in real life, or you'll have a dream, or whatever it is. But something will come and help you get past whatever that situation was in your script that you couldn't figure out.
Yeah, and outlining too. I'm not a huge outliner. I know you outline more than I do. But if you know what your plot is, like I said, if you know the beginning and the end, you just gotta get them to the end somehow. Maybe the middle will be tweaked a little, but as long as you know where you're going, you can move your story forward.
Yeah, and I think we're going to do a whole podcast on outlining.
That's a big topic.
Yeah, but yeah, there's different kinds. You can do, beat sheets. You can do, long form narrative outlines. You can do. I've done flow charts. Literally, I've drawn like little boxes with arrows, and like characters go in one direction and other characters go in another direction, and you can see visually where the story's taking place. A lot of people do the note card thing too. They just rearrange the note cards, which is kind of like doing a flow chart. So.
I tried to do the note card thing. I think I just got overwhelmed. I'm a visual person, but it just was a little too much for me. I needed something clearer.
I have too many term paper bad memories to work with note cards.
Yeah. So. Whatever works for you guys. So how about for you? How do you guys overcome writer's block? Let us know at WG Therapy on Twitter. Check us out at writersgrouptherapy.com online. You can also find the show notes there. And we will see. Oh, and if you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.
Please.
We'll see you guys next week.